Hello guys, today I'm going to be presenting my biology in the news assignment. For it I have chosen the following article from sciencenews.org. Devil worm genes hold clues for how some animals survive extreme heat. This article goes into quite a lot of detail about how devil worms and a few other creatures are able to survive some horrid conditions, and for the devil worm specifically in underground conditions. They were found by researchers to live at about 1.3 kilometers in South Africa, and that is where our scientists were able to get the first life sample and do all the research on. Scientists believe that their extreme survival capabilities are actually because of genetics. John Bracht and his team from the American University in Washington were able to find two genes that they believe could be responsible for holding the devil worm's ability to survive. The first gene is the one that makes HSP70 proteins, and they have an extremely high amount of 112 copies of these genes, while their closest relative had a lot less. These genes make the protein that is responsible for repairing other proteins that have actually been damaged by extremely high heat. And what they did is they were able to test the gene in a lab, and it showed that it boosts its rate at making proteins when there is a very high temperature. The second gene they found is the one that makes AIG1 proteins, which are very important proteins that decides whether the cell should live on or it should die, and they were found to have about 63 copies. They also were able to test this gene in a lab, but they found out that it doesn't create more copies of the proteins when the heat is extremely high. So they think that it could actually be responsible for other survivability traits like the low oxygen level and the high methane levels. John Bracht and his team have faced a few skeptics who believe that the research they have done is not enough, but the researchers have tried to prove their theory by also presenting Pacific oysters, who actually seem to face similar problems even though in a different environment, and also have developed more copies of the two proteins and of the two genes. I believe this article is very important because it could be a big step for genetic research of how we can survive extreme environmental conditions by influencing our genes. That is all, and I hope you liked it.